All right. Wait for a few here to jump in here. It's about to go down. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Nope, 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 nope. We won't need you. Good afternoon. All right, all right. You know how I go. I ain't gonna play. I ain't gonna hold up. I'm just gonna go straight with it. You can get it later. You can get it now. It's all on you. It's all on you. You know, how's I get down? Well, let's go to the facts, baby. Straight up to the facts. And if you think I'm playing, bingo. Let's take this down. We got action. All right. This will be what you would call the city's policy statement on driving their vehicles, any governmental vehicle. All right. Any city governmental vehicle. All right. Because it says right here, the purpose of this manual is the city of New York enforces practices that promote the safety of drivers of city governmental vehicles, their passengers, and the public. Drivers must carefully review the manual and adhere to the requirements. Okay. We're gonna go down to where it says wherever the transportation is needed. Authorized drivers must make every effort to use mass transit in lieu of a city governmental vehicle. Okay. This is with the exceptions of electric vehicles for whom the New York City Police Department has determined that personal security is necessary, as well as certain city governmental executives. Under no circumstances may city governmental vehicles be used for personal or other than official city business, unless provided for in the Driver's Handbook. Then it says the role of the agency's transportation coordinator, ATC, yada, yada, yada. Then he goes, let's go down to number 4. Number 4 is real deep, real deep. Remember, the sergeant gave a directive to the officer after the officer responded to work, to his assignment as per the schedule. Yes, he responded to the work location as per the schedule. The sergeant gets on and says, gives an order for the officer to report from location A back to location B. Right? Now, the key thing is once you took and you responded to work, be it the clock start or whatever, that's it. Oh, I see you. I see Myra. How you doing, Mama? How you doing? I'm just dropping this down, all right? Like I said, once you responded to work, they got to follow the guidelines, okay? Under the city employment, under the city services, under your employer's corporate compliance policy, and that. All right, Kashima. Let me get this wave to it. All right. Yeah, they must follow the city guidelines. Now, in doing such, right, they're city guidelines. All right. Let's go with the guidelines real quick. We're gonna go with number 4, where it says use of personal vehicles. Use of personal vehicles. The city strongly discouraged the use of personal vehicles and to perform city business. This is why you have to go to court. When I had to go to court for certain cases, they would send a patrol vehicle. If I was off the clock and I had to go to court, they would send a patrol vehicle to my house to pick me up, just to take me to court. Then after court, I would give them a call. They would bring me back to command. They didn't say they was going to bring you back home. They bring you back to command. You get back to command, you fill in supervision on what occurred in the whole 9 yards. After you give them their information on what occurred, boom, you hit the bricks. You're going home. All right? They're not taking you home. You're going home. All right? But let's move forward. It says if mass transit is not practicable, right, and the personal vehicle must be used for city business, drivers must obtain prior written approval from their ATC, Agency Transportation Coordinator, okay, and maintain appropriate automotive insurance in amounts required by the state which the vehicle is registered. So they go on D, okay? And then it says, in addition, drivers bearing the sole responsibility for maintaining their trip records for reimbursement, getting your money back. All right? And what is this? What's this? And federal tax filing. Okay. The use of personal 2 or 3-wheeled motor vehicles, commonly referred to as motorcycles, motor scooters, or mopeds for city business is prohibited. So you can't use those. Why? We have too many accidents with people's on those 2s and 3s. Even the 4s. We have too many accidents with people's on the MC world. So, based on that, this is their document. Like I said, you use what they use against you. You use it right back against them. This is your document. This is your corporate compliance policy. And use it against you. I'm going to hold you up against this right here. Why? Because, let's say this. Let's go there. You breach your corporate compliance policy. Your actions is giving a directive to an officer and it's putting them under order. That'll be a violation of your corporate compliance policy, right? Unprofessional and unethical conduct. That will also be a violation of New York State Penal Code 13560 under threat and coercion. We're gonna go down to number 8 on that. Go down to number 8, where you use your public service. You use your job position as your bully tactic. You better do what I say. Really. You get these people, yo, just do it, and you grieve it later. You do it, and you get involved. All right, Billy, what's up, baby? You get involved in an accident. They're going to deny everything. Everything. They're going to deny it. Say, I didn't tell them that. I ain't telling that. Why? You have no written document stating to do so. Here's your written document. Here's your written document. It's written, right? It's a contract. Here's your contract. They breached the contract. They written document. You don't go after these people. Oh, I'm a senior person. I don't give a damn. You get paid for observation, information, report writing, along with rules, regulations, and laws. Then we're going to add in who, what, when, where, why, and how. I'm going to continue to do this. You will never get a chance to do this again. It's not the fact that the employer did it. Let's add in the union, 237, who breached their contract under fiduciary. Why under fiduciary? Because once you know that they violate their corporate compliance policy in the whole 9 yards, you're supposed to bring this at the union. You're supposed to bring this. Saying, no, the officers did the right thing. You were supposed to bring this to them. Todd Rubenstein, I do believe you're the grievance coordinator, right? You're the grievance coordinator. Litigations attorney. Yeah, right. I'm trapping you in your own stuff, baby. And I'm doing a hell of a job. Oh, I'm just a hospital cop, New York City hospital cops. They don't know jack. How long it takes to be a lawyer? 3 years. With my background, 3 years. I'm gonna duct tape this around you, all the way around you, like an anchor, and just drop it. Why? Because of the mere appearance of an impropriety. That's an impropriety. The ship can't sail. You can't go into court with this. It's an impropriety. Everything in that case was loaded with improprieties. I fought the union. I fought the mayor. It's under his watch. Bloomberg didn't give a damn. He was on his way out. He's just the same as de Blasio right now. He's on his way out. Neither one of you give a damn. There's still a city corporation. And under the city corporation, the city's still responsible. The most beautiful thing about it is U.S. Code 42. You could go with 242. That's when another governmental entity goes after this governmental entity. That would be 242. The privatization of the right or privilege. But you could go U.S. 42, where you yourself can go at them. And the beautiful thing about that, you did deprive me of Civil Service Law Section 75B, right? Or anybody else that's going through the same nonsense, you did deprive them of it, right? Especially when the whistleblower went down. We had the probationary employee. I don't want them parking here. What? You just got here. I don't want them parking here. You just got here. You're on probation. The action you're taking are act of gross misconduct. Why? You're in violation of your corporate compliance policy. You're on probation. You should have been separated from services from the giddy-up. But let's go even further. You use your car in a threatening manner, right? You're supposed to have been separated. But powers may be. Remember, it's the senior vice president who was also covering Woodhull. Senior vice president got to go. The human resources director got to go. Labor relations director got to go. The EEO got to go. All of y'all got to go. You breached your contract. None of y'all followed your corporate compliance policy. None of you followed any procedures. Under Mayor Order, Executive Order number 16, since you breached that contract, you're subject to disciplinary action, even dismissal. Even the possibility of, because it's a civil matter and you did criminal actions, even the possibility of criminal charges, you're subject to that. See, because criminal comes from civil. It's birthed from civil. Yeah, that's how it goes down. So if you did the filing of your documents in the whole 9 yards, if you're filing fraudulent documents in the whole 9 yards, the first one, the punishable instrument. Yeah, I'm going to file this complaint against you. You sure about that? Yeah, you're not going to lie on that document because it's a document now. It's an accusatory instrument once you file it. Yeah, I'm going to file it. So you're not going to lie, right? Because once you lie, it's accusatory instrument. Punishment instrument, right? Yeah. Okay. That was your statement, a punishment instrument. Oh, he did this, that, and you lying. I called him. On one document, you have it down that her initial document says 2345, which is 1145. But on the secondary document, they put 2355. Like to say, oh, it was 5 minutes before its start time. You hung yourself from what she wrote. You got to go by what she wrote. A, wasn't on the clock. B, she wrote a punishable instrument. All right? C, she didn't send transportation. So you breached your contract right there. And like I said, you wrote the punishable instrument, right? Yeah. 21045. Offering a punishable instrument for filing on the record with false written statement. You did file it, right? 17530. Offering a punishable instrument for the record, for filed on the record. You are a public servant, right? And you know you're doing wrong, right? 19500. These are all penal codes. You do work for a corporation, right? Yeah. So you got yourself and the corporation, both of them in bed with this. With the corporation, that's 2020, subsection 2020, under criminal liability. and then yourself as an employee for the corporation, subsection 2025. Okay? Did you follow due process? No. That would be 195.05, a structured governmental administration. Did you try to deprive me? Yeah. 195.20. Did you file it? We could go to another city agency, another authority. Yes. 496.02. Corrupting the government. 195.20, I think that's depriving the government. Come on now. You got everybody else to get in bed with you? Like, we going to do this. We all going to do this. 105.000. Conspiracy in the 6th degree. You forget what we do for a living. Like, oh, you just can't read this? I do this for a purpose and a reason, the whole 9 yards. Like I said, man, look, this dude's stuff is right here. This stuff is right here. This stuff is still right here. And what you did to him in the whole 9 yards is criminal. The union, the employer, criminal, straight criminal. And that. So when you did that criminal stuff to me, I'm blowing you up with it. I'm going to continue blowing you up with it. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. It's funny. You know, 2 people who took the sergeant exam with me, who passed as well as I did, from 2 different separate agencies, they cracked up in 2016. They both went to their in-service. And they both called at different times and said, you know what? I'm in here for your bullshit. I said, my bullshit? They said, yeah, that corporate compliance bullshit. Why? Because it cut that deep. And then each time they would go back, it would get worse. Because of the simple fact, the higher ups, once they seen that it was beheading them, they squished it down to the low level, to the sergeants, and want to make the sergeants accountable. Let's get the sergeants on up. You know, because they had this thing in their head that I'm untouchable. You're untouchable as long as you're following your guidelines. You're untouchable as long as you're following your corporate compliance. You're untouchable as long as you're not breaking any rules, regulations, or laws. I don't care who you are. The judge. The administrative law judge. Oh, I'm sustaining her charge of him not following her directive and her order. You're sustaining that? And I just put this up? You're a judge, right? You're an administrative law judge, right? You could PDF this nonsense. You're sustaining this. You sustaining this. No, not this. You're going to sustain her. And she wrote a lie. She told a lie on the stand. Perjury. What's that? 21040? She told a lie on the stand. And you're sustaining it? Are you sure you wanted to sustain it? Isn't that a violation of your canons too? Judges are supposed to avoid improprieties, even the appearance of an impropriety. Oh, I see. I'm the judge. I can do whatever I want. You sure? You do know you work for the corporation. You just made the corporation look bad. It's just the same as the lawyer. Lawyers under Canons 9, they are supposed to avoid impropriety, even the appearance of the impropriety. That grievance coordinator, who's a litigations attorney, who signs his name Esquire. Well, Mr. Esquire, you didn't even do a fact-finding investigation. You were so used to like, yo, man, we just gonna let this rock. We're gonna cut this dude. We're gonna let it rock. With all your deceptive practices in the whole 9 yards, now you caught with your drawers down. Damn, they just ripped up, dude. Ripped up. Like I said, with all those improprieties in that case, in the whole 9 yards, there was no way that ship was supposed to sail. So what you did was Shanghai me. You dragged me onto that ship. And I just said, go ahead. Go ahead. You know, it's going to take a little minute. It took a little minute to get their head back. because all the nonsense I was going through. I already got the nonsense with Department of Buildings. Letting my neighbor do what he did. And they're going to write me these bogus summonses? You do know I wrote summonses for the city of New York. Do you really think it's that hard to read the summons? ECB summonses? I wrote ECB summonses. Do you really think it's that hard to write the summons? You do know the summons that you wrote is a punishable instrument, right? Is there any fraudulent stuff going on there? Yes. Oh, you got these vehicles on your property. Show me on my property where you could just drive right up and go on there. I'm gonna show you your gross negligence real quick. Well, there's how did you see those vehicles? Because at first he had it covered. Well, it wasn't covered. Then after the pictures came up, he covered the gate. So how did you see those pictures? How did you get inside to see not to see the pictures, to see those vehicles? You had to be acting in concert with him, haven't you? Yeah, you had to go through his gate to see them, for you to write them. Your actions were gross negligence. Your violation of corporate compliance policy. Got you too. Leave you alone. Let's go back to the employer. Based on the fact of corrective actions and preventive actions. See, you really screwed up. An old boy took and he tried to hit me with his car. And then I reported it. And then he retaliated by not letting me park my vehicle in the assigned parking lot that I had that I was paying for 2 years and a month before he even got there. You gonna just let him, I'm in charge, I could do what I want to do. Like I said before, is your name on the side of the building? No. So you're an employee? Yes. So you're subject to the same rules and regulations as all the rest of the employees. I'm a director. You're subject to the same rules and regulations as all the rest of the employees. You're not the owner, so you're subject to these rules and regulations. And you just got here. You're on probation for a whole year. Oh, but your juice lets you do what you do. So tell me something. How's your juice working on all those people that got separated because of what you did? Dragging them into your nonsense. How your juice work then? You know, when they got bumped out. See, your last DOI investigator, he didn't want to do nothing. But now the city's forced to do it in reference to all this gross negligence. Why? Because bigger wigs looking at this. This is civil service, baby. This bigger wigs looking at this. Like I said, your actions of violation of your own corporate compliance by not conducting your own corrective and preventive actions. See, the EEO, who y'all gave a doggone parachute to go to Lincoln, let's get it right. She lied on her document. She sent the document to the state with lies. She sent the document to the state with fraudulent information. Violation of Penal Law Code 17530. And you give her a parachute to go to Lincoln? Who gave her that parachute to go to Lincoln? The mere fact that you committed that, you're subject to dismissal. Period. Based on the fact you known or reason to believe or known not to violate your corporate compliance policy. You're subject to dismissal. There's no hesitation there. No. You and the Human Resources Director, both of y'all got those nice, greedy spots in that. We are paid in full in that. The girl, the senior vice president who was in charge of Woodhull, hooked y'all up. My man John Gant, what's up? What's up, bro? Great white. What's happening, baby? You see I'm still doing it. It's a lot stronger now. A lot more focused, a lot more stronger. Using their stuff against them on a lower level. On a lower level. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. All right? Like I said, you failed to do your corporate... Let's go to the fact that the EEO is supposed to have set up some fraudulent meeting This is what she wrote when it was actually on suspension. See, because on the 3rd, April 3rd, I came into your office. I came into your office because to file that complaint. He said, damn straight, keep teaching the people the real deal. You damn right. You damn right, bruh. I went into her office. On April 3rd. She lied and said she set up a meeting for April 6th. So why didn't you give me a document? I'm civil servant. You got to give me something. You got to give me some paper. You can't just verbally say, oh, I called them. Negative. Not sufficient. Civil servant, baby. You got to give me a written document. Notice. Okay, what is that? Notice, it's an official notice, but they have to give you official notice that it's going to take place, and then they got to notify everybody. Mighty funny you didn't notify anybody, but you're going to write on your document that you told me or that you called. Insufficient. That's a negative. You need to be dismissed, period. That's a negative. Okay, because you lied. You lied on the document in the whole 9 yards. You was fraudulent in your official duties. You were supposed to inform the corporate compliance officer. But as my captain said, he said, what happened to you was bias. He's Latino. But he said, what happened to you was bias. It was a bias act. They're all Latino. I don't want to bring that up. But the facts are. It's there. They're not all. Let's go to the labor relations specialist. So when we go upstairs and we have this fraudulent hearing, how are you going to have a hearing on the 31st of March before you have the corrective and preventive actions hearing or meeting? That was already on the books right there. So you're supposed to have that first. But no, you did a speedball and you had that hearing, which was fraudulent. Totally fraudulent. You had that fraudulent hearing upstairs, and the union didn't do what they were supposed to do. Nah, this ain't going. I need to be working at the union. Because as soon as they run that nonsense, I would drop them. You going to do this? You going to proceed? Not a problem. Not a problem. We'll get the rip together and put it in, or the tour, put it together, and we'll hang you. We'll hang you on breach of contract. Okay? Like I say, when the supervisor's like, oh, you better get over here. Look, you better get over here. It's 11:45. Yeah, but you better do as I say. Me, civil servant, under Citywide signed contract agreement. Let's go there. You do remember the former hospital police commissioner, right? Remember him? You do remember him, right? What was his name again? What was his name? There was a posting up that we was discussing, and the supervisor came on there talking trash, and he came on in and said, before doing anything, I'd have put you on the clock. He said, but first I would have asked you because it's in fact you're off duty. Then he said, I would have put you on the clock. And once put you on the clock, I would have sent the vehicle to pick you up. But you get these supervisors, the movie that's going on in their head, like, I'm King and Queen Kong. I could do what I want to do. I don't see your name on their check. I see you getting the same check I'm getting, but I don't see your name on my check. So if you want to breach your corporate compliance policy, be my guest. Oh, you out. You been out. You're damn right. It's like a long-ass vacation. You seen another officer just won, right? For the illegal activity they was doing. Right? Y'all went to court. They just terminated that officer. Y'all went to court and lied in court. It's on the record. All of it's on the record. All of it. One supervisor lying in his memo book, putting documents in, writing something in it 2 days later. What it says in the patrol manual, you have to write it in chronological order. You don't write it and 2 days later you put something in. That's fraud. Next supervisor, I'm telling you what to do because I could just tell you what to do. Sure about that? Are you positive about that? Are you breaching your contract? Well, I retired. You could still snatch your doggone retirement for your negative gross negligence in your actions. They could still snatch your retirement. And you know the city don't play like that. I just had to come and blow this up. You know what I'm saying? I had to come and blow this up. That's all. I'm not meaning to stay on here very long. I just had to get at you. And I'm going to keep getting at you until I get my remedy. Oh, yeah, I can still file, you know what I'm saying? Because, there's no statute of limitations on U.S. Code 42. There's no statute of limitations. You're already breached. You already committed crimes. Yeah. That's something what the state attorney general needs to look at with your organization. Yeah. That needs to be done. So, on that note, you know how I always say, it's kind of fair out, whatever. It's the weekend. You guys have a wonderful holiday. But remember, as I always say, the facts cannot be altered nor denied. Let's take it easy, all right? And I'm out.